Aloha, everyone. I'm Rick Kirkham of ProactiveComputerSupport.com, and today we're going to continue with our Google Drive and Gmail lesson series. And I am now making this an official service, by the way, to where I will help you with your Google Drive and with your Gmail. There are so many features that Google Drive has, it's almost an operating system within itself. I've even helped people edit PDFs using Google Drive for free. I didn't help them for free. I charged them for my service, of course. My property manager still insists on making me pay rent, so I'm going to continue to bill for my service, and I'm well worth it, I assure you. But anyway, let's go ahead and get in today's lesson. Let's go into Google Drive, and if you're in any Google application whatsoever, you can go up here to the waffle and click on Drive, and you'll end up in Google Drive. If not, you can just type in drive.google.com and you'll get there from there. All right, so let's start our spreadsheet lesson. Let's start a new spreadsheet. So let's click on New and let's go to Google Sheets. Now, let's go ahead to this arrow right here because there's actually several templates that you can get with a Google spreadsheet. A lot of this stuff is already made for you, including the formulas. So that's a nice feature. That's even got, there's Project Manager, neat, education, attendance, gradebook. Here's a to-do list. Now, you don't have to just have a to-do list on your computer. If you download the Google Sheet app, then you can actually have your to-do list right there on your phone. And if you make your to-do list a shopping list, be sure to get me some chocolate chip cookies. I like chocolate chip cookies. So let's go to, let's go just use a blank spreadsheet. And all we're going to do here is just put in some numbers. I'm just going to show you one little function here and how to add numbers, just to show you how easy it is to get started with this. So let's put in a bunch of numbers down here in the column, 55, 60, 22. Okay, so that's enough numbers right there. Now, a lot of people, when they first get into using spreadsheets, they put their totals down here at the bottom. So there's two little challenges with that when you do that. I'm going to press escape on the keyboard. There we go. First off, if you do need to add some more numbers, now you got to move your equation for your totals. Also, when the numbers begin to get really large, your column here, or even if you're doing rows, that's a row. But either way, you're going to end up having to scroll. And it's really the total that you want anyway. So I tend to put my totals right along the side here. And I don't use the functions that are built in a whole lot to do these. I tend to just code the equations by hand. And if you put, for example, a very simple one, if you put equals, and let's say we got B3, which is 55, and B4, which is 60, but we want the cells in case the numbers change, right? So let's go B3 plus B4, and then we'll press enter. And that's our total of cell B3 plus cell B4. Now, if those numbers ever change, then our total automatically changes. So that's kind of the neat thing about spreadsheets. They're designed to crunch numbers. But if most people are just going to add up two numbers, and they're going to get a calculator and just add up the two numbers or figure it out in their head. We want to add up a whole series of numbers here. So let's keep this over here. And let's go over here to this thing here that says functions. Now, every one of these, when you put your mouse over it, it tells you what it will do. Don't be afraid to play with this. Make a copy. If you got some real serious work that you've done and you want to try something new, make a copy of this first. That's easy to do. I'll show that to you sometime. But anyway, let's click on functions. Sum is the very first thing that we see. And there's our formula for sum. Now, there's a couple of ways you can do this. Most people are mouse driven. I'm an in-home computer tutor and a remote computer tutor. So most people love to use their mouse. So let's left mouse click on 65 and drag the mouse all the way down. I never released the mouse. I just kept it pressed down. And now I press enter on the keyboard. And there's our total. Now, if let's say we add some new numbers. The total up here remains the same because we told it to stop right here. So let's say if you want to change that, you could go up here and start that all over again, or you can just change the numbers here. Here's B17 is the last one. So let's double click on this. And let's go over here and change that 5 to a 7. So we're on B17. Press enter. Now our total changes. Now, if you really want to be clever about this, what you could do is just add some extra numbers when you just first start. So you go sum and do that, and then just grab, a whole bunch of these like so. Press enter, boom. And now you're set up for when you add new numbers. So now when we add new numbers, notice how your total changes. Now, the reason I have stuff over here and not all the way against the first row is because I usually leave enough room here for labels. You want to know what these numbers are, right? You don't want to just put in numbers. And one other kind of neat feature here, let's say we got HTTP. Well, let's try www. Most people don't type in HTTP. www.proactivecomputersupport.com. Enter. Oh, look at that. It's blue. So let's see what happens when I put my mouse over it. There it is. If I click on that, that takes me right to my website, proactivecomputersupport.com. So yes, you can put website addresses in spreadsheets. Okay, one other thing. Let's go ahead and name this. My spread, whoop, sheet lesson. I'm going to press enter. You can also just click somewhere else. Watch, I'll click somewhere else. That stayed there. Press enter, same thing. And, for people that are really Microsoft driven, and they insist on having this in a Microsoft Excel spreadsheet, you can actually go to File, Download, and download this as a Microsoft Excel spreadsheet. That's one of the options. However, I'm going to tell you once again, in the 21st century and using cloud technology, there is no need to attach files to emails, and there is no need to download anything, especially if you use backup and sync, which I also help people do. Then this is already on your computer. Like this right here has already sunk and gone to my computer. Synced? Sunk? Anyway, we go up here to share. I'm letting the ADHD out a little bit. And that's not a joke, by the way. I actually do have ADHD, so don't anybody be offended by that. So we click on share, and then we can share the actual spreadsheet with somebody else. Let's say, for example, if I want to just, now I could type that in, obviously, but that was already there. So we can actually share that. In this case, it's just to my own other email address. And you can give your client, oh, that's my phone. You can give your client different rights. For example, you can let them edit it in case you're working on a project together. Or you can just give them view rights so that all they can do is look at the spreadsheet. I have a computer client who does medical billing, and I taught her how to use Google Sheets so that her physicians, clients, and other medical staff can just go into the Google Sheet whenever they want to and take a look at the invoices. You can also give the person comment rights so that they can comment right there on the sheet, like, hey, why is B20 85 instead of 116? And you can get a hold of that person and answer their question. It's a nice way to communicate. And so let's send that. And that's about it for this lesson. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you start using Google Sheets. Be sure to get a hold of me for more Google help and more computer help, both in-home here on Oahu and remotely for the entire United States of America. And be sure to just text me, please, because there is a time difference here in Honolulu versus like my old stomping ground, Illinois. Anyway, enjoy your Google Drive, enjoy your computer, and God bless you. Until next time.